Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, family? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it is politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please, as always, do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, welcome. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to yet another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your friend, your homie, coming to you with some more headlines from Bill Maher calling out the women of The View, to Donald Trump cracking down on crime, specifically only in blue cities. I wonder why. And I want to discuss too this gerrymandering thing, why both parties are wrong. They're at fault. Yes, I said it. Both parties, Democrats and Republicans, are at fault with this whole gerrymandering issue. Now, I'll discuss that later on the show. But before I move forward, I want to take the time to acknowledge our viewers that happen to be streaming us right now on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with the family. We want to share with everybody that, hey, look, we're not going anywhere. We want to continue to give you great conversation, and we want you to be involved in the conversation. So please do me a favor, subscribe, like, share with the friend, share with the family, leave us a comment. I truly appreciate that. In addition to our YouTube channel, the Arrington Gavin Show, which you should all be subscribed to, by the way, be sure to stream. You can also stream us on demand on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. It's you can download the app. It's free. It's available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And again, that is Goatverse TV. Goatverse TV. So honored to be a part of that amazing and growing streaming platform. In addition to that, you can also listen to the Arrington Gavin Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms, okay? All major podcast platforms. And we're also honored to be heard on the radio airwaves. You can listen to the Arrington Gavin Show. We're in two affiliates at the moment. One in New Orleans. So for those that you're probably listening to the show right now in New Orleans by way of WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's only on WBOK 1230 AM. And then we're going to move it on all the way to the Metro Atlanta region. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. That's right. Multiple platforms you can tune into the program. In addition to all that stuff, do me a favor, follow us on our social media platforms. I know you're on social media: Instagram, Blue Sky, X. What else are we on? Substack, all under the same name, the Arrington Gavin Show. So please be sure to subscribe and follow us on those social media platforms. In addition to that, check out our amazing website, www.theagshow.com. Again, that is www.theagshow.com. And you can catch up on new episodes through there. You can also contact yours truly on, I don't know, anything that's off the top of the dome. If you have want to, hey, give me my flowers and say, hey, look, I enjoyed the conversation that from this episode, that episode, shoot me an email. Or if you would like me to discuss something that's been impacting your life or your community, and you're just curious and want to hear my take on it, look, shoot me a contact. Or if you just want to pick a fight, because I have my those haters that will share their frustration on social media or on YouTube and stuff. And I mean, hey, look, I'm an advocate of free speech. You don't have to agree with me, but respect my opinion. That's all I ask. Respect my opinion. I respect yours. Okay, my friends, before we head to a commercial break, let me read you a quick fun fact, because since I spoke earlier about gerrymandering, I wanted to kind of give you a little quick origin of gerrymandering. So let me go ahead. This will be, I guess it's sort of like our fun facts. Not really fun, but it's just, again, it's a quick origin, just so you'll be aware of this. So the term gerrymandering was coined in 1812. It's combined the name Elbridge Gerry, then governor of Massachusetts, in the word and with the word salamander to describe the bizarrely shaped district created to benefit his party. So now the Boston Gazette published a political cartoon of the district which resembled a salamander, leaning to the term gerrymander. So that's where the whole origin of gerrymandering came from. So boom, there's your quick history lesson, my friends. Do not go anywhere, because I'm gonna talk a little bit about this this gerrymander and stuff, because it's been going across the national news, social media. Obviously you've heard about Democratic state officials who has decided to evacuate the state of Texas, and they haven't been seen since, which some folks are saying, hey, look, I like the protests that the Democrats are doing. And then you have some folks leaning more on the opposing side, saying, wow, is this what taxpayers voted to have you represent them? Do your job, vote on it, battle it out, just don't leave a fight. Like, what are you doing? So we'll talk about it more on the show. But look, do not go anywhere again, my friends. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story. Crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new GoatVerse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
That's right. Rugged is the new smooth, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the owner. I'm also a client. all right, y'all like, okay, Arrington, like, cut it up. All right, so let me get it going. I want to talk about first gerrymandering, because that's a big thing that we've witnessed happening in our eyes, in front of our eyes. We hear a lot about it, and we know what's the deal. Why is this a big deal happening in the state of Texas? Right, Texas is one big ass state. Let's just be clear right there. It is a massive state. So much stuff happening. But let me kind of let me share why this is a big issue, why this even came about first and foremost. So let me explain this here. So over 51 Texas House Democrats left the state, many to Illinois, to block a Republican-backed voting map, House Bill 4. Okay. The reason why is because if 51 plus Democrats are gone, the House cannot reach a 2/3 quorum to pass this law. Now, Republicans will with the support from the president, Donald Trump, are pushing to redraw the map and add 5. All right, well, let me do it. 5 more GOP leading congressional seats ahead of the 2026 election. Why are they doing this, you ask? Oh, because they're pressed right now. We've witnessed a lot of GOP candidates either retire, not seek re-election. Why? Because they're tired of the president's BS. Let's be clear. The current president who's in office is not loved by your traditional Republicans and conservatives. He is a team of himself. He cares only about himself. He is doing everything he can that is not in line with the Constitution. So that's why you see they're pressing right now, because this upcoming midterms is not looking good for the GOP. I'm just speaking solo for right now for Virginia, but overall the GOP is struggling because it's hard for them to defend a guy like this cat in office. Okay, and so they're trying to find new ways on how they can get some seats. How can they win the majority, right? The majority in the House and the Senate. So let me kind of give you some more differences. There's different types of gerrymandering. There's partisan gerrymandering, which is drawing districts in favor to one political party, really what they're doing in Texas. Then there's, of course, racial gerrymandering, manipulating the districts to weaken the electoral influence of race and ethnic minorities. Now, you also have incumbent gerrymandering, drawing lines to protect current office holders. I'll be honest, gerrymandering is full of it. I've never liked this since I've learned about it. You see you see a lot of new up and coming stars in the Texas politics, in the Democratic Party. There is a state delegate. I am blanking on her name. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. Darn, where's she at? Well, it's gonna come to me. I'm trying to. She went viral. I'm now mad. Okay, hold on, y'all. Time. Usually, I always have my. Here we go. Jolanda Jones. Jolanda Jones went viral for calling out Governor Abbott, and she's been kind of like another rising star. I'll compare her to like a Jasmine Crockett. You've seen her, on multiple news outlets and different other platforms. She's one of the state Democratic lawmakers that had fled the state. And so what's at stake for the Republicans is that, the withdrawal map mid-decade, rare to lock in as I mentioned, 5 new GOP seats. Now, to push, obviously, the Democratic reps quickly. It will push them out very, very quickly. Now, the reaction, I've already mentioned that the Democrats had fled. So now here's the plans from the Texas GOP. Civil arrest warrants for absent Democratic state law officials, $500 daily fines for their absence, threats of removal from office and investigation, a lawsuit to remove Democratic leaders, Gene Wu. I mean, it's funny in my opinion because I don't know. It's just comical. It's comical because they would literally lock them up, arrest them because it's a crime for them not to show up. Look, they're protesting. Look, if they knew if it was illegal and they wouldn't have done it in the first place, they're going to do so regardless because they know it's within their right. There's so many ways and so many strategies you will see folks do in order to either get something passed or either to prevent something from getting passed into law. Now, every day you see Texas Governor Greg Abbott sharing his frustration. Obviously, they share what the president thinks of it, and he gives his 2 cents, but what else does he really know? The interesting thing is they're threatening to send warrants to these lawmakers, but warrants don't work outside of the state of Texas. So I'm curious to see how will they make that happen, because I mentioned earlier that there's Texas state lawmakers that have fled to Illinois. They've fled to at least 3 or 4 different other states. They can go to any state regardless, but it's like, so that's a lost cause for them. He's literally trying to permanently remove the lawmakers because what he looks like, what they're doing to him is basically affecting his plan. It's affecting his evil plan. But the sad part is, what this is, it will reduce minority representation, spark more voter suppression nationwide. It could shift control of Congress, obviously, in 2026. That's the number one issue. Number one issue. Let me play you this quick soundbite. This is Texas Governor Greg Abbott, Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott, talking with Jake Tapper in regards to this, this gerrymandering back and forth between the Texas GOP and the Democrats. So let me go ahead and share this soundbite for you all.
If they do not get removed by this court, this process is going to continue. I'm going to call special session after special session after special session. They could remain in hiding for literally years, tying the hands of the state of Texas from performing essential government needs. That cannot be allowed, and that's exactly why I should prevail in my lawsuit to have this Democrat removed from office, because they are denying Texas the ability to conduct business.
I mean, not entirely, though, right? Because, I mean, there are filing deadlines for candidates in September and November, and then in March, of course, would be the primaries in Texas. So they really, I mean, I'm not advocating this, but they really only need to wait you out until the fall.
Yeah. So sorry, Jake, that's not the case, because I can call a special session at any time to have these districts redrawn. And even if we get to and beyond the filing deadline, we are still going to redraw these maps. Before we've done this, what we can do again, and that is have 2 different elections, one for all the other candidates on the ballot, one for members of Congress. And that's exactly what we'll do this time. If they think all they have to do is wait it out until November, December, they're wrong. I'm going to do this for the next 2 years.
So, okay, so that right there was Texas Governor Greg Abbott share his frustration on what he'll do if this thing continues to extend, right? If this continues to extend. Now, here's my issue. Once again, you got to call a spade, right? You got to call balls and strikes. When the Democrats pulled a gerrymandering, did Republicans bounce? Did they evacuate? No, they didn't. They did. They stayed. Now, look, this is not me in supporting Democrats whatsoever, because trust and believe, Republicans will utilize anything that they know they technically have the right to do. Trust me, they will pull all sorts of strings. They do it right now. Come on now. So they would if they did, but they never did anything to this extent. So overall, the Democratic Party's their stance on gerrymandering is, personally, they think it's wrong, but that doesn't mean that they've never done it. That's the thing. They want it to end, but they have publicly practiced gerrymandering. So that's where the hypocrisy kind of comes to play, in my opinion. Well, I won't even say this. I won't even say hypocrisy, but they've both done it, is what I'm saying. They both committed it. I don't know if this is, hey, you do this, why can't I do this? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They supported bills like the For the People Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, which included measures to curb partisan gerrymandering nationwide. We've done redistricting before, I believe, almost like, what is it, every 10 years? Because I know in Virginia we've done a redistricting. It's a pain in the tail, in all honesty, because you're starting to figure out wait, who, what this. I've seen the benefit of district changing for candidates and elected officials in my home turf, in my home state, in my home cities. Now, Democrats, they say they oppose gerrymandering, but once again, I said they push for reforms at the nationwide level. But when in power, certain states, they sometimes use the same tactic to their own advantage. Hypocrisy, y'all. Hypocrisy. Like, that's my whole frustration with this two-party thing. You can't continue to say how bad one side is and y'all doing the exact same acts. You can't. Give you some examples. When the Democrats used it to their advantage, Maryland 2011 map, the Democratic-controlled legislature redraw Maryland's 6th congressional district to make it much more favorable to Democrats. The U.S. Supreme Court later heard the case, Benesek v. Lamone, but ultimately declined to set national standard against partisan gerrymandering. Okay, boom, that's one. 2. Illinois' 2021 map. Democrats drew maps that heavily favored their party, creating districts that diluted Republican voting strength, particularly in the suburban and rural areas. Nonpartisan analysts called it one of the most pro-democratic gerrymanders in the country. 2022, New York. Democrats in the state legislature drew an aggressive map that could have been given them control of 22 out of the 26 House seats. Okay. Oh, don't worry, my friends. There's more. Massachusetts, with no Republican members of Congress for decades, the state has seen district line drawn in ways that maintain total Democratic control, though in less extreme fashions than some other states. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, Arrington, what do you always say? When one side goes high, you meet them right there. You meet them face to face. This and that and the other. You don't, that whole, when they go high, you go low. No, you got to meet them. If they go low, we going just as low as them. We meet neck and neck in this level, because politics now is disgusting. There used to be a time when Republican and Democrats could actually be very friendly amongst each other, and majority of them still are. But you have you have what's publicized, and that's what's growing, is that they are pressed. I mean, let's, for crying out loud, they publicly put out the actress Sydney Sweeney's registration. She was a registered Republican. Who cares? Who cares? Like, to me, I'm sorry. I cannot stand, okay, because you're this is your viewpoint. I can't speak. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I can't. And I mean, it's funny because a lot of my progressive and very, far left leaning friends, they're like, oh my gosh. And likewise, my very far right leaning and conservative friends, they say, oh my gosh, I can be you what? Like, calm down. Like, one party cannot control or lead the full state to the way you want it. It's not going to happen. You got to have versatile. You have to have a variety of viewpoints, variety of backgrounds and skill set to help really make America what it really is. But see, we have an administration now that's they have their specific group of folks who they want to benefit. They only want to benefit the rich. They only want to benefit a certain kind. Okay, that's all they want to do. They can care less about others. And in my opinion, this president we have right now is only focuses on himself at all times. So now that was examples of the Democrats. Okay, so now on the Republican side, they are they love gerrymandering. Okay, their stance officially, they never publicly say they're supporting it, but in practice they use it when it benefits them. So again, they're just smart to kind of keep their mouth shut, but their action speaks louder than their words in this state. I mean, this instance. So North Carolina 2026 and 2021. 2026, excuse me, not 2026, 2016 and 2021. Courts found in 2016 congressional map was drawn to maximize Republican seats, even though the statewide vote was nearly evenly split. One GOP map maker famously admitted they couldn't draw a map that elected 11 Republicans and 2 Democrats. So they settled for 10-3. Texas, 2003 and 2021. And of course, obviously they're doing it right now. But in these previous eras, in 2003, Republicans led a mid-decade redistricting, unusually at the time, but pushing Democrats from 17 of 32 U.S. House seats down to 11. All right. In 2021, despite huge growth of the Latino population, Texas maps kept GOP dominance while reducing minority communities' electoral influence. Wisconsin, 2011, after winning control of the legislature, Republicans drew district maps so skewed that in 2018, they won 63 of 99 assembly seats, despite losing the statewide vote. Lastly, Florida in 2022 at Governor Ron DeSantis' request. Oh, no, shocker. A new congressional map dismantled a district that allowed Black voters to elect their preferred candidate while boosting GOP-leaning districts. In my opinion, gerrymandering should be wiped off the face of the earth. Why? Because you're taking the power out of the people. It should be, and that's why, and honestly, that's why people cannot stand politics, nor can't stand politicians. They just, and it's hard for me as a person that advocate for the importance of voting, because your voting is your power. You not voting can be very critical. Hello, look at this presidential election. Very critical, because look at the outcome now. All hell's breaking loose. Voting is key, my friends. Voting is key. But it's sad that we have elected officials that are voting to remove power from our hands and to say, well, we just want to make sure we only care about is the power. We want to maintain our lead. We want to maintain our positions. So let's continue to redistrict the hell out of this thing, and we want to add more GOP seats. We want to add more Democratic seats. It's not right. It's not right. And in my opinion, whoever is, thinking about running for office, and president, that is, they need to really speak out on this gerrymandering issue, because most folks do not like it. I mean, it's not a favorable tool. It's not. And see, now GOP, Texas Republicans vote to track down and arrest Democrats who are fighting gerrymander. I mean, it's laughable, man. It really is. It is. But in my opinion, y'all, let me know what your opinion is. Share me your thoughts on this one. What do you think? What's your take on or your stance on gerrymandering? Do you look at it as, hey, look, it just happens to be a tool that in a certain period we might need to do a little gerrymandering, or is it wrong because it puts only power into legislators and elected officials? It takes, since whenever I thought we the people vote those in office. I thought the elected officials were serving the people, the community. I thought they were serving us. It's vice versa now. It is vice versa. So I just wanted to follow you guys up with this whole gerrymandering issue. And again, I personally think, hey, Democrats are going to do what's best for their party in the state of Texas with what's going on with this. But I just think both are at fault because they both practice gerrymandering. So don't act like you don't, even though you publicly say you don't like it, and the Republicans never publicly said they don't, nor do they do like it, but they practice it. It makes them look worse and more in favor for it, which most likely they are. But I mean, this protest, y'all, can continue to extend, I mean, for years. I mean, look, you have a lot of wealthy Democratic donors, as well as you have a lot of wealthy Democratic elected officials that are saying, hey, look, we're going to do all we can to keep you here and this and that and the other. Now, I was watching not too long ago an episode of Real Time with Bill Maher. I love that show. Fan favorite of it. There's, I don't always agree with Bill, but I enjoy him a lot more than, moments I disagree with him. He had Dr. Phil and Stephen A. Smith. Interesting duo, by the way. Dr. Phil, the so-called doctor who meant to bring families together and always helping out when you have an issue and this and that. He done, showered in the MAGA in the MAGA water way too long. He's been sipping that MAGA tea. He is MAGA, all the way, and it's been a whole new, revamping his brand, right? He tried to start a network that freaking, just flopped. I mean, the worst flop ever. I think it lasted what, 2 years, maybe 2-3 years. Excuse me. And he had to file bankruptcy. He's trying to become, he sees the growth of streaming, but everybody's trying to be so politically, which, hey, it's their right. It's their right. I mean, hell, I'm political, right? I talk a lot about politics here on the program. But he's so one-sided. He tries to be so open and like, let's just get back to common sense politics, common sense. But he does the total opposite, right? I mean, for crying out loud, he spoke at that rally in Madison Square Garden. He was one of the speakers, speaking nonsense. He went on ICE raids with ICE officers. I mean, why is Dr. Phil up there? I don't know. And then he was all shocked when immigrants knew who he was. I'm like, dude, they do have access to television. Stop acting like you're just from. He always had this look like he's just not in tune with reality. But anyway, he was up there. And then you got Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith has been a guy that's been growing a career now, growing a brand in politics, and a good one. I mean, both of them I would say, are equally when it comes to their brands and building a presence on the political side more than just what they used to be, with Stephen A. Smith being a guy, from sports, Dr. Phil being a guy from, I guess, would you say, like, psychology or whatever. They started talking about they were discussing. Oh no, Dr. Phil has shared. We elect you, and we're paying tax dollars for you to do what you were elected to do. Now, in some of the elected officials' defense, because I've heard one of them say this, I can work remote. My admin staff is still present. They still have access to my office. They send the information. If they can't handle access, I can work remote wherever I'm at. I can still do the job. I don't have to always be present in that office. But what he has said was like, okay, why it looks like you're running from a fight. Like we elected you to fight. Regardless if I, agree or disagree, like put up a fight. Don't just leave and, try, and just run away from it. Fight it out and see what you're going to do. But here's the thing, Dr. Phil. If they try to fight, they will still lose. Okay. So that's why they're not, but I understand where he's coming from. It's like, hey, look, if this is the L we got to take, but at least we shared our peace and we fought. But this is them fighting by protest. They're protesting. They're not running away from the fight. They're still being very vocal. They just know that they have the authority and the power where they have and the freedom to do that, because if they step foot in Texas, it's over. It is over. But we'll talk a little bit more of this because, like I mentioned, this is not going to be going away anytime soon. This is a long going discussion, debate back and forth. I mean, will this occur all the way till midterms? Could be. But we will see. And we will continue to follow up. Let me see here. Let's take a commercial break here. I'm gonna take a quick breather. Do not go anywhere, my friends. We got a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blend sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
People age 65 and older are at high risk of injury, especially from falls and car crashes. But older adults can take steps to stay safe from injury and be independent longer. Tell your doctor if you have fallen, if you worry about falling, or if you feel unsteady when standing or walking. Learn more about preventing falls and aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. I want to discuss this next headline that I came across. I'm like, I got to share about this. So, speaking of Bill Maher in real time, Bill Maher also hosts a podcast called Club Random, where it's normally just him sitting one-on-one with an influencer or a public figure from the world of music, entertainment as a whole, acting, politics, philanthropic. I mean, you name it, he's spoken with everybody. A lot, folks that he doesn't agree with, folks that he do agree with. It's a great conversation. Just it's club random. They just speak random stuff. He's literally sitting down, puffing some herbal stuff, and then you have they have drinks as well. I mean, it's a good sit down convo. Recently, I think he was on. Let's see here. He was on and he had shared that The View is not the best advertisement for women. This is reported by The Independent. It says here Bill Maher has shared his candid thoughts about the host of the hit daytime talk show The View, and it doesn't sound like he's a big fan. Now, he's very respectful to the ladies on The View. I remember one time when he was promoting, I think his recent comedy special, he was on The View, and I mean, it was a very respectful dialogue. I mean, they didn't agree with him because Bill Maher, who is very liberal, has been one of the biggest critics of the left. And he says, hey, look, I'm still a liberal, through and through, but this new left and woke, I'm not for it. And he's not, and he speaks against it 24/7. In addition to that, he sat down with Donald Trump at not Mar-a-Lago, at the basically his DC version of Mar-a-Lago, the White House. And they went ham. People were so upset with Bill, and how can you have dinner with this guy and this and the other? And basically, the moral of the story is Bill Maher respects the office. Bill Maher respects whoever is, he respects the position. So he's like saying, look, I got a call from the president. Hell yeah, I'm going to have dinner with the president. Like, this is just in his, and that's a generation thing too, because Bill Maher is pushing 70, 69 years old to be exact. Young people are like, no, I got too much. I'm not doing that. I rather do, I'd rather eat dirt than to go sit with that man for dinner. Absolutely not. What kind of dinner is that going to be? And Bill Maher did. He's like, hey, look, he's an advocate for the civil dialogue, which I am too. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna have dinner with the guy, but I say that, and then let me get a call and say, hey, look, they want you to have dinner with the president. When I'm like, what, me? As long as it ain't McDonald's. Maybe. No, I'm joking. But anyways, he had recently reflected on his appearances on The View and interactions with the hosts, including Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, during a recent episode of his podcast Club Random. Now, The View has become a frequent target for those on the right who bash the host for being too liberal, which I don't disagree with the right on that one. The View, majority of their guests are Democratic elected officials or someone that is very pro liberal. Like they rarely have strong conservative voices on their show. Now, they might have a conservative like a Michael Steele, right, who has been, he's still a registered Republican, but he is as independent middle. I mean, he's a huge critic. He's more in love with the left than he is, with the right, but he still holds his conservative and Republican views. Like I said, he's a former RNC chair, for crying out loud. They've had Republicans like former New Jersey governor Chris Christie. They've had they've in recent months I've seen them on there. But they're right. They've been extremely, extremely liberal. I mean, they have a conservative voice on there who is more independent. They have another young lady up there who is a registered independent, but she's she's always voted mostly Democrat, but she is independent. They have another registered Republican on there, Anna. I can't remember her last name, but she is a CNN contributor, but a true critic of Donald Trump. So I remember one time when I saw Bill Maher on there, Sunny Hostin, who is quite progressive, but she gets on my nerves to an extent because I feel as though like I don't like comments where, well, you've changed, but like she said something like, oh, you've changed, but you've changed. Don't tell me what I've like me changed. I'll tell you if I've changed or not, but you not in charge of my viewpoint. That's one thing. I cut the cord on that one. I don't care who I have on, if I agree or disagree. I will not say you used to be this, you changed, you this, you changed your views, this, that, and the other. Look, perfect example, Tulsi Gabbard. I've been critical of her, but hey, look, she is now a registered Republican. That is her stance. That is her view. If you want to say she's changed parties, yes, she's changed parties. But if she was a Democrat and said, look, I'm going to support Trump and still be a registered Democrat, that is her. I'm not going to say she's changed her Democratic views. I'm going to say, okay, she still registered Democrat. She still has her Democrat leaning, but she's choosing to lean to this guy because something is catching her eye about this guy. Anyways, let me go back. So back to the story. The View has become a well, I already said that. He shares, I quote, he says, I love Whoopi and Joy. Those two I really know. He told his guest Drew Barrymore. He said, and I did the show like a year ago, and I like everybody. Maher then shared his take on about the View's host tactics on air, claiming that I don't know if they're really at the moment the best advertisement for women. After Barrymore said the show was formatted a certain way, Maher continued his arguments about the ABC show host. He said they say some things that are like not helpful to say elections. He then went on, let's see. He hosts the previous Slam the View. During a July episode on his podcast, he criticized Goldberg for the remarks made about Iran. During a June episode of The View, Goldberg argued that living in the United States as a black person is comparable to the oppression that citizens of Iran regiment face. Now, listen, that was a bit too far, Whoopi. Like, I understand I understand your passion, but sometimes, and I guess this is when the far left kind of I distance myself from, because I'm like, okay, you're taking it a little too. That was a little bit too much. You were over exaggerating on that expression, and in my opinion, The View does do that a lot. They have over exaggerated a lot. It's different back when Barbara was up there, because Barbara was a little more neutral. She was a true journalist at the end of the day. Sonny is far left. I just wish, how I personally don't like any form of panel shows that if you have, let me see, you go, what are you doing? I think there's 6 women up there right now. 6. Make it, even though you have technically like 2 Republicans, have the viewpoint really different. Don't always kind of gang up. That's why I can't stand the 5. The 5 is just a simple program. What the reason why it's a high popular program is because you literally sit and watch 4 conservatives bash a liberal, which, don't get me wrong, Jessica Tarlow, she holds her own because she's very smart. She's much smarter than all of them combined. Okay. But I can't stand shows like that. To me, that's not reality. Have versatile viewpoints, have a versatility when it comes to this. That's why I enjoy shows like, if you ever heard of Breaking Points, right? You have or Rising from the Hill. Well, it's Rising is the Hills show is called Rising. Rising is I love the concept of having a left-leaning individual and a right-leaning individual, and they discuss both things. Yeah, they might have their disagreements, but it's not like I'm like bashing in the head kind of thing. Like, I mean, just The View has changed, and I don't know how long it will last. I do think there should be some kind of revamp of the program, and that might be one of those shows that will just be up as long as soap operas are on TV. They'll just start revamping voices and faces, and eventually, Whoopi and Joy will retire. I mean, they're in their like 70s. They've been up there for a minute, so I don't know. But he said, call them whatever they want, not the woke, not the stupid woke. Like Whoopi, love her, but when she said a couple weeks ago that being black was the same, and it's like, yeah, in 1920, but not today. I mean, it's that's a typical common sense viewpoint. Like, people are taking stuff a little bit to the extreme, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just in my honest opinion. Now, I do think stuff is hitting the fan under this new administration, under this new regime. I do believe that, because you're seeing a lot of things, a lot of constitutional rights being taken away. We're witnessing ICE officers grab people from grocery stores, for crying out loud. I thought they were supposed to be getting criminals. They're getting all people, and it's almost like it feels like a stop and frisk kind of thing, in my opinion. So it is getting quite aggressive now. If it's not stopped, will it ever get worse? That still no, because nothing I think can be worse than what's happening out of the country. Seriously, as much as we have issues here in the United States, it is nothing comparable to what's happening in other countries. Okay, that's another thing. When you worry folks so much, that's why I think I spoke about the AI story, and I thought, like, folks get people so worked up and worried. And so my take on this is that I think Bill Maher has a point. I think he has a point. But to an extent. Now, obviously, The View is a popular liberal show, so of course you're going to see liberals continue to share their take on that. There's just another platform for them to speak their mind off. Hey, the right got multiple platforms. Why can't the left have theirs? So you're going to still need a show like The View, but it's, in my opinion, if it's called just The View, then have a more variety of a viewpoint. Don't just have, like, let me call it The Left View, or mostly left. I mean, you got Laura Trump has her show called My View on Fox News, and then she has a podcast called The Right View. I mean, I don't know, my friends. I don't know. Definitely need some touching up to do. Definitely need some touching up to do. Let's see here. Do I want to digress from this story? Do I have any more to say on this one? Well, I guess the question I'll leave by asking you all is, what's the grade that you give The View? For, this to the ladies, because it's mostly catered to women. Do you still watch The View? Do you enjoy The View? Has The View got way too political or way too left leaning in your opinion? What is your take on The View? Should they chime it down, or bring more versatile thought makers on there? Was Whoopi right in comparing that in her comment, or no? Like, what is your take? What is your take on this? Is Bill Maher wrong? Is Bill Maher an undercover conservative? A lot of folks always say, "Oh, he must be under." No. That's why Bill Maher has such a popular youth fan base. Again, I will say Bill Maher has a large youth fan base. For a 70-year-old, that's very big and very rare. Why? Because he hits both sides equally, as he should, as we all should. He's funny with it. He's fair with it. Ask me this: how can Bill Maher's real-time show still last, but technically other late night shows are kind of struggling? Like well, obviously CBS and the Late Show, that's getting axed. If is Jimmy Kimmel's show at risk? Like, why? Like how come Bill Maher has had his for years, and it's been a working strategy for years? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. I'm gonna tell y'all something very funny and probably nasty at the same time. The 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 con of having a beard. Like, you have your pros and your cons. So the hard thing about living with the beard is sometimes while I'm talking, my beard can, little beard hair can fly into my mouth. So while I was talking, I'm over here feeling something in my mouth. I'm like, I didn't just get like a fly or nothing in my mouth. Look, maybe that's a sign I need to stop talking about this. Okay, let me digress. I'm looking at my time right here. I got just a few short minutes. What do I want to talk? I'm not gonna have time to talk about Trump's crime issue, but let me share this story very quickly here. Within this short time, I came across a story and I thought, man, I'm gonna give I give more respect to Machine Gun Kelly, rapper Machine Gun Kelly. So the reason why I bring this up is because recently Machine Gun Kelly, if I can find the there we go. Machine Gun Kelly shared, excuse me, that he was offered an audition, I believe, on the movie Sinners. Okay. This is reported by RollingStone.com. Machine Gun Kelly nearly had a role in the movie Sinners, but he ultimately chose to pass on the box office hit because he did not want to use a racial slur. MGK made the revelation during his appearance on ESPN's The Pat McAfee Show recently, sharing he had auditioned for Ryan Coogler's film. And after reading the script, he said, "No, man, I basically that's not my thing. Can't do." Respect. I respect that. And then it got me thinking. I'm like, well, hold up. I've seen a lot of white actors on movies reenact racist individuals, and they say that word freely, like that. I mean, like, I'm like, should I look at you funny? Should I look at you funny? Like, I know it's acting. Acting is acting. It's a character. It's not really you, but it's the principle, right? And this is from a hip hop star. I mean, an artist who does rock, but mainly hip hop. MGK does hip hop. White man that does hip hop, and he's saying, "No, I'm not saying that word. No, not at all. Nope, not me, not me." And the reason why I said that's even more powerful because I've come across folks that a white individual that love rap music, and sometimes they might be in the heat of the song, and you gotta watch them when they did you. What did you just say? What I think you said? No, you better not. You better not. Because a lot of words they be freely with using that. Using that word, using that slur. Okay, and I don't care what people say. Well, it's a difference if it has a at the end of ER. Look, I'll say this, y'all, and then I'm gonna get ready to close. I'm not a fan of the word. Neither should you. Neither should you feel comfortable saying it. Now, if I understand. Culturally, you're, how you were raised and the other. That's how they said it, this and the other. And look, I've had to correct myself from saying it and things like that. But I prefer not even to speak it into existence because the word is hurtful. It's not a nice word to say, and it should not be allowed or accepted. And I hope that a lot of hip hop artists out there is listening can also adjust and not use the word in their lyrics as well, because at the end of the day they don't just have black people that listen to their lyrics. They don't just have Hispanics or Asian Americans or Latin Americans or or they have white people. They have a versatile group of folks that listen to their music. So I would appreciate if they don't use it. That's just my 2 cents, y'all. That's just my 2 cents. But y'all, as always, thank you so much for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I did not have the time to speak on Trump's crackdown on crime, mainly in blue cities, but we'll talk about it on the next program. Until next time, my friends, peace and blessings. Y'all take care. God bless. I'll talk to you soon for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.